Hey guys, it's Bellamy here from Midnight Suns and welcome to my review for Mobile Suit Gundam GQuuuuuuX. And yes, that is how the title of this movie is pronounced. And if you think that name sounds ridiculous, don't worry, you are not alone because the characters in the show itself actually make fun of the name. They actually comment about how ridiculous it sounds. So the main character's mobile suit in this show is the Gundam known as GQuuuuuuX. And thankfully, that isn't the real name of the Gundam. It's actually just a code name, but they haven't revealed what the actual name of the Gundam is. I'm sure eventually when they reveal what the Gundam's true name is in the anime series, it will be some big review. But for now, it's just called GQuuuuuuX, which is a pretty funny name. But okay, let's talk about the movie itself. So, this movie feels like two movies in one. The first half of the movie is like a war movie, and the second half of the movie is basically what you see on the posters. That is like a young adult teenage drama. Like the main characters are pretty much kids. And so the main plot of the show revolves around these kids finding this Gundam GQuuuuuuX and then using it to participate in these underground clan battles. It's like real steel, underground robot fights but using Gundams and other mobile suits. But yeah, that is the second half of the movie. The first half of the movie, on the other hand, is very different. The first half of the movie is like this super old school OG Gundam anime. It's basically the original Gundam anime from like almost 50 years ago. It is a retelling of the original Gundam anime with the whole RX-78-2 and all that. Except in this world, an alternate history happens. So I'm not going to spoil too much, but basically something massive happens at the start of the movie, which completely changes the course of history. And so that first half of the movie, when you are seeing how the whole Gundam history is changed because of this one thing that happened, it was pretty cool. It's like you're watching this old school anime with old school animation, old school art style. And also the music was basically music from the original Gundam almost 50 years ago. So all the OG Gundam fans, you're gonna love the first half of the movie. The second half of the movie, when it fast forwards to the main story with the kids and the Gundam GQuuuuuuX, that second half of the movie I think will appeal to a lot more of the modern young audience. It felt a lot more like Witch from Mercury. Like it has very dynamic colors, very dynamic animation. It's much more modern looking than the first half of the movie. It's also a lot more lighthearted. The first half of the movie was like this dark war movie, and then the second half of the movie is this kids underground fight movie. So depending on what you're looking for in a Gundam movie, you might like the first half of the movie a lot more, or the second half of the movie a lot more. And that being said, both halves of the movie felt so different from one another, both in tone and in style. And even the story was so different that when you put them both together, it didn't really feel like a movie to me. So that felt very odd to me. It's like, just when I was getting into the first half of the movie, suddenly it ends and becomes the second half of the movie, which was completely different in tone. I feel that the movie would have been better if it was more consistent in tone throughout, but I can kind of see why they did this. Because the first half of the movie has a lot of fan service that I'm sure the OG Gundam fans will love. But it also has things which I'm sure a lot of OG Gundam fans will complain about. Like for example, they redesigned the entire RX-78-2. It looks nothing like the RX-78-2, the original Gundam. It looks more like some kind of demon that came out of hell in this movie. Now I know some people love this redesign and some people hate this redesign. And in the movie, they never really do explain why the Gundam looks so different in this timeline. The audience is just expected to accept that it looks different because this is an alternate history, but there's no explanation given why the Gundam looks so different in this movie. And I personally wasn't a big fan of this redesign when I first saw it, but when I saw it in action, it kind of sold me because it actually does look really good in action. But of course, it cannot compare to the original RX-78. That original Gundam still looks way better in my opinion. But okay, with all that being said, I am going to give Mobile Suit Gundam GQuuuuuuX a 6.5 out of 10. I think there's a lot of fan service here for the OG Gundam fans, but the movie just felt so tonally uneven that I didn't really enjoy it as much as I feel I could have. But yeah, I did enjoy the fan service in the first half of the movie. And I am looking forward to seeing where the rest of the story takes us when the full anime series comes out in April. And yeah, that's all for this review guys. I hope you enjoyed watching it. And if you're going to see Mobile Suit Gundam GQuuuuuuX, please tell me what you think about the movie after you've seen it. And with that being said, do subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks again for watching everybody. And as always, stay gold and never fade. Bye guys.